Hello, I'm Park Dohyun. Please listen to my heartbreaking story. The Jeju Island breeze brushed against my cheek. Thrilling. In my 65 years of life, this feeling was a first. My first trip after retirement. No, to be precise, my first trip without my wife. Double tap to continue. Before you continue, please hit subscribe and like. It really helps. Dohyun, how about another shot of soju? Chongsu raised his empty glass. His face was flushed red. Same age as me, a colleague, who spent his entire life at construction sites with me. Sounds good. I nodded. The soju we drank at the small raw fish restaurant, overlooking the sea, was different. It had no bitterness. No, even the bitterness tasted sweet. It's been so long since the three of us got together like this, Kyungsu muttered. He too was looking at the sea with a reddened face. We all lived through the same times. Waking up at 5 a.m. to rush to construction sites, returning home late at night. 40 years passed just like that. Now it's different. Hey Dohyun, how are you these days? What do you do at home? Chongsu asked. I thought for a moment. What do I do? Wake up in the morning and take a walk with Jungi, play baduk at the neighborhood senior center in the afternoon, watch TV in the evening. That was all. Just living. Living? Is that an answer? Kyungsu laughed. I laughed along. The sea breeze blew again. This time it was cooler. Behind us, the sunset was setting. Orange light stretched long across the sea. Truly beautiful, I muttered. At some point, I gained the leisure to see such scenery. No, rather than leisure, I should say I gained time. Dohyun, you look happy, Chongsu said. Happy? I pondered that word. What is happiness? A healthy body. Enough money? Family's well-being? No, it was this very moment. This moment drinking soju with friends while watching the sea. This time when I could laugh without any worries. You're right. I'm happy, I answered honestly. The next morning, Mount Hela visible through the hotel window was magnificent. The mountains standing tall under a cloudless blue sky. I took a photo with my camera. I wanted to show Jungi. Next time I should come with my wife. I muttered to myself. Jungi loved traveling. When we were young, we came to Jeju Island for our honeymoon. Back then we had no money, so we stayed one night at a guest house and left. Now it's different. We can stay at a nice hotel for several days. In the taxi heading to the airport, I looked out the window. Jeju's scenery passed by. Black stone walls, green fields, and the endlessly spreading sea. It really is a wonderful place. The taxi driver said. Yes, it truly is. I replied. My heart felt warm. When was the last time I felt like this? As the plane took off, I looked down at Jeju Island growing distant below. I'll come again. With Jungi. No, I can come with Yoonju's family too. I didn't know then that when I returned home, everything would be different. That my peaceful daily life would be shattered to pieces. That this happy moment might be my last. But that moment was perfect. Inside the plane flying above the clouds, I felt true freedom. Misfortune comes without warning, especially at the happiest moments. It was at the baggage claim at Gimpo Airport. My phone rang while I was waiting for my luggage. It was my daughter. Hello, sweetheart. Her voice was different from usual. Something felt awkward. Dad, did you have a good trip? Yes, I had a great time. Jeju Island was really nice. Next time we should all go together. Dad, my daughter cut me off. She had never done that before. Normally she would listen to everything I had to say. What's wrong? Dad, I'll tell you when you get home. It's difficult to talk about over the phone. My heart sank. I had a gut feeling that something was wrong. Sweetheart, what happened? Did something happen to your mum? Is she sick? No, she's not sick. Just come home. Kang is here too. Kang? Why is my son-in-law here on a weekday? He's an office worker, so I hardly see him on weekdays. Sweetheart, please tell me what happened. I'm worried. It's really difficult over the phone. Please come home quickly. Click. The phone disconnected. My hands trembled. In over 40 years of working at construction sites through all kinds of dangerous situations, I had never been this anxious. What happened to my wife? I grabbed my luggage and took a taxi. I told the driver I was in a hurry. Normally I would have taken the subway and gone home slowly. I called my wife in the taxi. Hello. It wasn't my wife's voice. It was my daughter's voice. Sweetheart, why are you answering Mum's phone? Oh, Mum's phone broke. So It was a lie. My daughter's voice was shaking. Since she was little, my daughter couldn't lie. Her voice would shake when she lied. Let me talk to Mum. Right now. She's not here. Where did she go? She just stepped out for a moment. Another lie. My heart was pounding. Something wasn't right. I was so happy in Jeju. What is this? The taxi entered our neighborhood. I saw familiar scenery. The neighborhood supermarket, hair salon, pharmacy. Normally they would feel comforting, but today they looked somehow ominous. Sir, please stop here. I paid the taxi fare and got out. I could see our house. A 2-story detached house. Our home that we obtained 20 years ago. But something was strange. Normally when I returned from a trip, my wife would be waiting at the door. Today no one was there. I opened the front door. I'm home. I greeted loudly as usual, but the atmosphere felt strange. My daughter came out. Her face was stiff. Dad, you're home? Yes. Where's Mum? Dad, please sit down. I'll explain slowly. My son-in-law also came out. Normally he would greet me with a bright face saying father-in-law. But today he just nodded slightly. I sat on the sofa. My daughter and son-in-law sat in front of me. Tell me what happened. My daughter looked at my son-in-law. My son-in-law nodded. Dad, Mum is. My daughter's voice trembled. What happened to her? She's at a nursing home. Nursing home. My mind went blank. I couldn't understand what she was saying. What are you talking about? Why is Mum at a nursing home? Dad, Mum was very depressed after you left for your trip. Depressed? Mum? She's not that kind of person. She also had psychiatric counseling. The doctor said it would be better for her to receive treatment at a nursing home for a while. It didn't make sense. Until I left for my trip, my wife was perfectly fine. We took walks together every morning, watched TV together in the evening. Something was very wrong. Very wrong. My 40 years of construction site experience was telling me something was wrong with this. The most frightening lies are those that come from the mouths of those we love. A nursing home. What are you talking about? My voice trembled. In 40 years of working at construction sites, my voice had never trembled. My daughter lowered her head. My son-in-law spoke instead. Father-in-law. Mother-in-law became very depressed after you left for your trip. Depressed? When I left, she was fine. At first we thought it was just temporary, but my son-in-law paused. He looked at my daughter, then opened his mouth again. Mother-in-law started behaving strangely. Behaving strangely? My chest felt tight. My wife behaving strangely. That couldn't be. I've lived with her for over 40 years. Wouldn't I know? What kind of behavior? My daughter spoke up. Dad, Mum left the house at night. At 2 a.m. Where to? She just wandered around the neighborhood. In her pajamas. It didn't make sense. My wife was afraid of going out at night. She's someone who locks all the doors at 7 p.m. She went out at dawn? Is that all? My son-in-law spoke again. She wouldn't eat. Stayed in her room all day. And what? She said strange things. Strange things? My daughter's eyes welled up with tears. Dad, Mum kept saying someone is watching me, and I need to lock the doors. My head was spinning. My wife wouldn't say things like that. She's never been that kind of person in her entire life. So when did you take her to the hospital? 3 days ago. We took her to a psychiatric clinic. Psychiatric? My heart sank. My wife at a psychiatric clinic? What did the doctor say? My son-in-law pulled out an envelope of documents. Here's the diagnosis. My hands trembled. I took the diagnosis and tried to read the words, but they wouldn't register. What does it say? Depression and symptoms of suspicion. Symptoms of suspicion? Paranoid delusions. Thinking that someone is trying to harm her. It was absurd. My wife wasn't the kind of person to get such an illness. I knew better than anyone. So that's why you sent her to a nursing home? No, Dad. We didn't send her. My daughter stopped speaking. What do you mean you didn't? Mum. Mum went in voluntarily. Voluntarily? I couldn't believe it. My wife voluntarily went to a nursing home. How does that make sense? Why would Mum voluntarily go to a nursing home? My son-in-law spoke again. Mother-in-law said it's dangerous to stay home. Someone is watching me, so I need to be in a safe place. My 40 years of construction site experience was telling me something was wrong. Hey, Kang. Yes, father-in-law. When did you last see Mum? Yesterday, when we took her to the nursing home. Before that, when did you last see her at home? My son-in-law looked at my daughter. My daughter answered, 3 days ago, the day before we went to the hospital. So Mum was alone at home for 3 days? No. We took turns looking after her. Taking turns? Something was strange. My daughter has her own house. My son-in-law has his company. They took turns for 3 days? Sweetheart, what did you do about work? I took time off. Kang too? Yes, I took time off too. Strange. Both of them suddenly took time off to look after my wife? Let me see Mum's room. I stood up. My daughter and son-in-law looked flustered. Dad, the room is. What about it? I went up to the second floor. I opened the door to our bedroom. The room was too clean. Strangely clean. My wife was always a neat person, but this wasn't right. It looked like a room no one lived in. I looked at the vanity. The cosmetics my wife used every day were gone. I opened the closet. More than half of her clothes were missing. Sweetheart, I called loudly from downstairs. Yes, Dad. My daughter ran up. Where are Mum's things? At the nursing home. We took them there. When? Yesterday. Yesterday. When I was spending my last day in Jeju. It seemed planned. Too meticulously planned. My 40 years of construction site experience was giving me certainty. This isn't depression. It's something else. The best way to hide the truth is to wrap it in plausible lies. Sweetheart, sit down. Let's talk from the beginning. I came down to the living room and sat on the sofa. My daughter and my son-in-law sat in front of me. When exactly did you say Mum started acting strange? My daughter looked at my son-in-law. That look again. Something about confirming with each other. The day after you left for your trip, Dad. The day after? That was strange. When I left, my wife was no different from usual. She came to the airport to see me off and said take care. Did something happen that day? My son-in-law answered, nothing special happened, father-in-law. But mother-in-law started to become anxious. Anxious? Yes. She kept checking the doors, drawing the curtains tightly closed. And then, my daughter spoke. We called to check on her every day, but Mum kept saying someone is eavesdropping on the phone calls. Eavesdropping? My wife wasn't the kind of person to say such things. She's someone who never worried about such things in her entire life. So you went to see her in person. My son-in-law continued explaining. Mother-in-law's condition was really serious. She hadn't slept properly for several days, barely ate anything. So you took her to the hospital? Yes. We had no choice, father-in-law. My daughter's eyes welled up with tears. Dad, Mum said strange things to me. What things? Sweetheart, you need to be careful. They are targeting our house. They? I don't know who. Mum wouldn't explain. My head was spinning. My wife said such things? She's never been that kind of person. Kang, what about you? Did Mum say such things to you too? Yes. To me it was even worse. Father-in-law. Even worse. Mother-in-law said to me, son-in-law, I can trust you, right? Everyone else seemed suspicious. That was strange. My wife never treated my son-in-law that closely. Of course she didn't dislike him either, but suddenly saying I can trust you. So what did the hospital say? My daughter pulled out the documents again. The doctor said it was acute stress reaction, and that she has symptoms of paranoid delusions. Paranoid delusions. Being away from her husband caused extreme anxiety, which led to these symptoms. My son-in-law added, the doctor said it would be good to change her environment. Father-in-law, that's why the nursing home. Wait, I interrupted. Did Mum really say she wanted to go to the nursing home herself? My daughter and son-in-law looked at each other. That look again. Yes, mother-in-law said it herself. What did she say? It's dangerous to stay home. I need to go to a safe place. It didn't make sense. My wife was someone who loved home the most. She's someone who lived in this house for 20 years and never spent a single night outside. Which nursing home is she at? Peaceful nursing home in the city. What kind of place is it? My son-in-law answered, the facilities are good, father-in-law. It's a psychiatric nursing home. Psychiatric. My chest felt tight. My wife at a psychiatric nursing home. Dad, you're going to visit Mum, right? My daughter asked cautiously. Of course I should go. When can I go? Tomorrow. We'll take you tomorrow. Why not today? My daughter looked at my son-in-law again. Today. They said Mum needs time to adjust. Adjust? To the new environment. That was strange. Everything was strange. That Mum suddenly became strange. That she voluntarily went to a nursing home. That I can't see her today. Kang. Yes, father-in-law. Did you have any problems at work? Taking time off suddenly. Oh, yes, it's fine. They understood when I said it was a family matter. Same for you, sweetheart? Yes, Dad. At that moment, something came to mind. Our house property. A few months ago, my daughter had asked about it. Dad, whose name is the house under? At the time, I answered without much thought. It's under both Dad and Mum's names as joint ownership. Surely it's not that, right? But my 40 years of construction site experience was telling me, none of this is a coincidence. Truth hides in the most trivial places. The question is whether you have the courage to find it. It was deep into the night. My daughter and son-in-law went home. They left saying we'll come to pick you up tomorrow morning. The house left alone felt so spacious and silent. I had lived with that person for over 40 years, but now being alone, I felt suffocated. I went up to the second floor. I looked at our room again more carefully. I started with the vanity. This was where that person sat every morning to put on makeup. Now it was too clean, as if no one had ever used it. I opened the drawers one by one. First drawer, empty. The lipstick, powder, perfume that person always kept there. Everything was gone. Second drawer. This was empty too. I opened the third drawer. Something was strange. It wasn't completely empty. There was a small piece of paper in the corner. I held it in my hand and looked closely. It was that person's handwriting. Honey, don't trust. That was all. The rest was torn off. My heart was pounding. What could this mean? I opened the closet. It was strange that about half the clothes were missing, but what was stranger was the arrangement of the remaining clothes. That person had a habit of organizing clothes by color, black, gray, white in order, but now they were hung randomly. It looked like someone else had organized them. I looked under the bed. This was where that person hid important things. I reached out and felt around. I touched something. It was a small notebook. That person's diary. I opened it and looked at the last page. March 15th. My husband said he's going on a trip. I'm worried. These days our daughter and son-in-law visit often. Something feels strange. March 16th. My husband left. Our daughter called. Mum, why don't you stay at our house while Dad is away? Why suddenly? March 17th. My son-in-law came alone. He showed me strange documents. They were house-related documents. He told me to sign. I refused. March 18th. Our daughter got angry. Mum, why are you being like this? We're trying to help. What help? This is strange. My hands trembled. What is this? I kept reading. March 19th. My son-in-law came again. This time he came with someone else. He said it was a psychiatrist. Why suddenly a psychiatrist? March 20th. Our daughter cried and said, Mum, please go to the hospital. You've been so strange lately. I'm strange. You're the ones who are strange. March 21st. I want to call my husband, but our daughter took my phone. She said in case Mum makes a mistake. What mistake? It was the last page. March 22nd. I can't take it anymore. I need to do something before my husband returns. But how? The next page was torn out. I closed the book and thought, that person got depression. Paranoid delusions. It was a lie. Complete lie. Looking at the diary made it clear. That person was fine. Rather, she was worried about our daughter and son-in-law's strange behavior. The part about signing house-related documents particularly bothered me. What documents were they? I looked at the piece of paper I found in the vanity drawer again. Honey, don't trust. Don't trust what? Don't trust whom? I suddenly got chills. Could it mean don't trust our daughter and son-in-law? My 40 years of construction site experience was giving me certainty. That person was forcibly sent to the nursing home. Not because of depression, but for another reason. Probably because of the house, because of property. But I wasn't certain yet. I needed to check more. Tomorrow I need to go to the nursing home and meet that person directly. Only then can I know the truth. I need to hear it directly from that person's mouth. Whether what our daughter and son-in-law said was true, or whether my suspicions are correct. I went to bed but couldn't sleep. All kinds of thoughts kept flowing through my mind. If my suspicions are correct, my daughter whom I raised with love for 40 years did such a thing? I didn't want to believe it, but all the evidence was pointing in that direction. The times we loved sometimes bring the greatest sense of betrayal. It was 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep after all. I got up from bed and came down to the living room. I sat on the sofa in the darkness and fell into thought. When did I first meet that person? It was 42 years ago. I was 23. That person was 21. We met at a neighborhood friend's wedding. She was wearing a light blue dress. Her shy smile was so beautiful. Nice to meet you. I'm Yoon Jung-gi. That was the first greeting that person gave me. Her voice was small and clear. We dated for 6 months. Back then we had no money, so dates were just walks on the neighborhood mountain. But we were happy. Mr. Dohyun, I'm really happy. That person often said that, while holding hands and walking mountain paths. The wedding was simple. There weren't many guests. Our honeymoon was just 1 night and 2 days in Jeju Island. Still, that person had no complaints. Mr. Dohyun, the Jeju Island sea is so beautiful. When we make more money, let's come back. That's what that person said then. Our newlywed home was a semi-basement room with 150,000 won monthly rent. It was damp and cramped, hot in summer and cold in winter. Still, that person was always bright. Mr. Dohyun, our home is the best. Because you're here. 3 years later, our daughter was born. Yoonju, that person was so happy. She held the baby and cried all night. Honey, our daughter is the prettiest in the world. We're truly blessed. Even when I was busy working at construction sites, that person managed everything alone. Childcare, housework, everything. Sometimes when I came home late, that person would be waiting. Honey, you worked hard. I'll prepare dinner. No matter how tired, she would prepare food and listen to my stories. What was difficult at the site today? She listened to everything I said until the end. Sometimes she gave advice too. You're such an amazing person. You handle things others can't. Hearing such words gave me strength. Going to the site the next day felt less difficult. 10 years later, we finally obtained our own home. This house, a 2-story detached house. That person was so happy that day. Honey, it feels like a dream. We have our own house. That person went around every corner of the house, delighted like a child. Let's put plants here, sofa there. Honey, I'm so happy. Our daughter Yoonju was happy too. She jumped around because she got her own room. Dad, are we rich now? I remember laughing at my daughter's innocent question. We're not rich, but we're happy because we have our own house. Then that person said, Yoonju, this house was obtained through Dad's hard work. You must treasure it forever. Our daughter nodded too. Yes, Mum. I really love this house too. We lived in this house for 20 years after that. Those were happy times. Our daughter entered university, got a job, married my son-in-law. That person always lived for the family, thinking of our daughter before herself, thinking of me before our daughter. Your health is most important. When you're healthy, our family is happy. When I was sick, she nursed me all night. When I was struggling, she comforted me. Such a person. Why such a person? My chest ached. I've lived with this person for 42 years. I know better than anyone what kind of person she is. Depression. Paranoid delusions. Nonsense. That person was the most positive and bright person in the world. Even when difficult things happened, she always endured with a smile. Honey, even when difficult things happen, I endure. As long as our family is happy, that's enough. Such a person couldn't suddenly get depression. There must be another reason. What our daughter and son-in-law said was all lies. But why? Why is my daughter telling such lies? My daughter whom I raised with love for 40 years. Tears came. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to think my daughter couldn't do such a thing. But the evidence was clear. That person's diary, the torn memo, the strangely organized room, everything was supporting my suspicions. The window was starting to brighten. It was almost 5 a.m. Today I'll meet that person. What will that person say to me? Will she tell the truth? Or will she say what our daughter and son-in-law said was right? I was anxious, but I needed to know. I needed to know the truth. For the person I've lived with for 42 years, the path to finding truth is rough, but we cannot give up. It was 7 a.m. I got a call from my daughter. Dad, did you sleep well? Yes, I'm leaving now. I'll arrive around 9. All right. I hung up the phone and thought. There were things I needed to check before meeting my daughter and son-in-law. First, I looked at the documents I found in that person's room again. I read the diagnosis carefully. Acute stress reaction, symptoms of paranoid delusions. Medical terms filled the page. But there was something strange. The hospital name on the diagnosis was Peaceful Mind Psychiatry. It was a hospital I had never heard of. My daughter definitely said it was a famous hospital. I searched it on the internet. The search results for Peaceful Mind Psychiatry came up. It was a small private clinic. The doctor was someone named Kim Jin-soo. I looked at the reviews. They weren't very good. The treatment is too careless. They just prescribe medicine without proper consultation. I'll never go there again. Only reviews like these. That person was treated at such a hospital. That was strange. I also searched for the nursing home. Peaceful Nursing Home. I went to their website. The facilities looked decent, but something didn't sit right. I found the phone number and called. Hello, this is Peaceful Nursing Home. Hello, I'm the husband of Yoon Jung-gi who was admitted yesterday. Ah, yes. Hello, I'd like to visit today. What time should I come? Just a moment. There was a brief silence. I'm sorry, Ems. Yoon Jung-gi is currently in an adjustment period, so visits are difficult for the time being. For the time being? How long? About a week. No, it will be decided after consultation with the attending physician. A week? That didn't make sense. I'm her husband and I can't see her for a week? Does that make sense? I'm sorry, it's the regulations. Then can I at least talk to her on the phone? That's also difficult. I hung up the phone. I was angry. Something was strange. A nursing home isn't a prison, but no visits or phone calls for a week. I searched that person's room again. I might have missed something. I looked behind the dresser. I felt something. It was a small envelope. It was taped to the back of the dresser. I carefully peeled it off. There were documents inside the envelope. It was the property registration for our house. The property registration of our house. I looked closely. It was strange. It was different from what I knew. The owner should be listed as Park Dohyun and Yoon Jung-gi as joint ownership, but it was only Yoon Jung-gi as sole owner. When did it change? I tried to remember. A few years ago when we got a loan from the bank, we organized the documents. That's when that person said, "Honey, for tax purposes, it would be better to change it to my name." At the time I agreed without much thought. I thought it didn't matter whose name it was under between husband and wife. But thinking about it now, that could have been a trap. If the house is solely under that person's name, while that person is at the nursing home, someone could handle the house. Who? Our daughter and son-in-law. My chest felt tight. There was another document. It was a power of attorney. I, Yoon Jung-gi, delegate all authority regarding property management to my daughter Park Dohyun. I looked at the date, March 20th. The very day that person went to the hospital. It was absurd. That person couldn't have written such a power of attorney voluntarily. The handwriting was strange too. It looked like that person's writing but also didn't. All of this seemed planned. While I was on my trip, it seemed our daughter and son-in-law had prepared everything, sending that person to the nursing home, taking property management authority. What was the purpose? Were they trying to sell the house? Or was there another purpose? Suddenly I remembered something from a few months ago. My son-in-law once said he needed business funds. He said the bank wouldn't give him a loan, that he needed collateral. At that time I refused. We can't use the house as collateral. Find another way. My son-in-law's face had stiffened. After that, his attitude toward me gradually changed. Could it be? Could it be because of that? I heard the front door opening. It seemed my daughter had arrived. I hid the documents again. It wasn't time yet. "Dad, I'm here." It was my daughter's voice. The same bright voice as usual, but now it was different. I knew the truth hidden behind that voice. "Yes, you're here." I tried to maintain my composure as much as possible. My son-in-law came too. "Father-in-law, hello." "Yes." "Then, shall we leave for the nursing home?" My daughter said. "Yes, let's go." In the car I thought, what will that person say when I meet her? Will she tell me the truth? Or will she have to act in front of our daughter and son-in-law? I was worried about what state that person would be in. But one thing was certain. Looking at the evidence I found, that person was clearly in an unjust situation, and I had to reveal that truth. For the person I've lived with for 42 years, I couldn't give up. Tonight, I'll go to the nursing home tonight. Even if I have to sneak in, nothing hurts more than the despair read in the eyes of those closest to us. We arrived at the nursing home. It was a cleaner building than I expected. A 3-story white building with a well-maintained front yard. But I felt somehow suffocated. "Dad, we'll go check in first." My daughter said, "No, I'll do it myself." Dad, it's fine. I went to the reception desk on the first floor. Hello, I'm Yoon Jung-gi's husband. The receptionist looked flustered. Ah, just a moment. She checked something and made a phone call. Director, Ems. Yoon Jung-gi's husband is here. Yes, I understand. After hanging up, she said, the director would like to consult with you first. Consult? Yes, there are things to explain about the patient's condition. That was strange. I just needed to see her. But why consult first? I went to the director's office. A man in his 50s was sitting there. Hello, I'm Kim Young-ho, director of this nursing home. I'm Park Dohyun. I came to see my wife. Yes, but first I need to tell you something. The director made a serious expression. What is it? Your wife's condition is more serious than expected. More serious? My daughter and son-in-law sat next to me. The depression is quite advanced, and the paranoid delusions are severe. Please tell me specifically what condition she's in. The director opened a file. Since she was admitted yesterday, she keeps saying her husband shouldn't come. What? My heart sank. She says it's dangerous to meet her husband. That someone is controlling her husband. That didn't make sense. That person wouldn't say such things. And, the director continued, she also said the husband isn't the real husband. What does that mean? It's a typical symptom of paranoid delusions. Coming to distrust even the closest person. My daughter sobbed. Dad, Mum seems really sick. My son-in-law also spoke. Father-in-law. Please listen to what the doctor says. But I couldn't believe it. That person couldn't have said such things. Still, please let me see her. But, please, the director sighed. All right, but only briefly, and a caregiver must be present. Fine. We went up to the second floor. The hallway was long. White walls and the smell of disinfectant made it feel like a hospital. We stopped in front of room 203. I opened the door. That person was sitting on the bed. She was looking out the window. Her back looked forlorn. Honey, I called cautiously. That person turned around. Our eyes met. At that moment, I read something in that person's eyes. Surprise. Joy? Awe? Fear? Complex emotions were mixed. You, that person said in a small voice. You came. The caregiver was watching from the side. My daughter and son-in-law were standing at the door. How are you doing? That person didn't answer. She just looked at me. I saw something pleading in her eyes. Are you feeling okay? Yes. It was a small voice. When can you come home? At that moment, that person's eyes wavered. She looked toward my daughter, then looked at me again. I don't know. Honey, what happened? The caregiver interrupted. Time is up. The patient seems tired. Just a little more. No. I had no choice but to stand up. At that moment, that person grabbed my hand. It was cold and trembling. You. She seemed to want to say something, but my daughter and son-in-law were watching. Be careful. It was a very small voice. So small that even the caregiver couldn't hear. What did you say? But that person didn't say anything more. She let go of my hand and looked out the window again. We came outside. The director was waiting. How was it? I didn't know what to answer. That person's appearance was strange. So different from usual. But the last thing she said, that word be careful, kept echoing in my ears. Dad, let's go home, my daughter said. In the car I thought, that person's condition was really strange. But was it because of depression? What did that last be careful mean? And that person's eyes. She clearly wanted to say something, but she couldn't because my daughter, son-in-law, and the caregiver were there. Is there a way to meet her alone? Only then can I hear the truth. What that person really wants to say. Lies beget more lies, and truth seeps through the gaps. It was the road back home. The car was quiet. Everyone was silent. Dad, my daughter spoke first. Mum's condition seems more serious than we thought. Does it? Yes. You saw it too, Dad, she wasn't like the mum we knew, right? That was true. That person was strange. But was it because of depression? Kang, what do you think? I also think mother-in-law has changed a lot. How has she changed? She wasn't someone who spoke so little before, but today she barely said anything. That was true. Usually that person talked a lot, especially when meeting me after a long time. She had much to say, but today was different. But sweetheart, yes, did Mum really say she shouldn't meet me? My daughter hesitated for a moment. Well, that's what the director said. Did you hear it directly? No, but the director has no reason to lie. The car stopped at a traffic light. My son-in-law looked at me through the rearview mirror. Father-in-law, is there something suspicious? Rather than suspicious, there are parts I don't understand. What parts? That Mum suddenly changed like that. Could it really get that bad just because I went on a trip? My daughter answered, Dad, you know how dependent Mum is on you. In 42 years, she's hardly ever been without you. That was true. That person was quite dependent on me, but it was still strange. By the way, yes, you said you went with Mum when she had psychiatric counseling, right? Yes, that's right. What did the doctor say? My daughter and son-in-law looked at each other. That look again. The doctor said, a change of environment was needed. My son-in-law answered, change of environment? Yes. That she needed to get away from a stressful environment. The house is a stressful environment? Not like that. But she has a lot of time alone. The words were a bit strange. Then couldn't you just visit more often? We thought about that too, but we also have work. So you sent her to a nursing home? Yes. We had no choice. We arrived home. My daughter and son-in-law came in together. We sat in the living room and continued talking. Sweetheart, when did you organize Mum's things? Things? Yes. Her cosmetics, clothes. Where did everything go? Oh, we took them to the nursing home. When? Yesterday. What time yesterday? My daughter seemed flustered. In the afternoon. Around 3? But my son-in-law said differently. No, we went in the morning. Oh, right. We went in the morning. Something was strange. Why were they confused about the time? By the way, Kang. Yes. What did you tell your company when you took time off? I said it was a family matter. Specifically what? That mother-in-law was sick and I needed to take her to the hospital. What did the company say? Fortunately, they understood. How many days off did you take? A week. A week. That was strange. Was it necessary to take a whole week off just to go to the hospital once? Why so long? My son-in-law looked at my daughter again. Well, I thought I should monitor mother-in-law's condition. Monitor? Yes. But the director at the nursing home said, visits are difficult for the time being? Yes. Because it's an adjustment period. Then you can't see her either, right? My daughter said, we can because we're guardians. Guardians? Yes. We have the power of attorney too. Power of attorney. The one I found. When did you get the power of attorney? When we went to the hospital. Mum wrote it voluntarily? Yes. But I knew the date and handwriting of that power of attorney. Sweetheart. Yes. Did you ever talk to Mum about the house? My daughter's face stiffened. About the house? Yes. Selling it, or using it as collateral. Why are you asking that? My son-in-law interrupted. Father-in-law, are you suspecting us? Rather than suspecting, you seem to think there's some misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? You don't think we sent mother-in-law to the nursing home for another purpose, do you? It was direct. My son-in-law asked point blank. What other purpose could there be? Then, that's good. But the atmosphere became strange. A situation where we were watching each other. My daughter stood up. Dad, we should go now. Already? Yes. We have to leave early tomorrow too. Going to the nursing home again? Yes. To check on Mum's condition. I see. My daughter and son-in-law left. I sat alone and thought. Several contradictions were found in today's conversation. Being confused about the time they organized things. Taking a whole week off. Their expressions stiffening when talking about the power of attorney. And the last thing my son-in-law said. You don't think there's another purpose, do you? Why did he say that? Words that would only invite suspicion. My suspicions were gradually turning into certainty. Tomorrow I should go to the nursing home alone. I need to find a way to talk with that person alone. I need to hear the truth, directly from that person's mouth. Sometimes memories of the past become the key to solving present mysteries. I couldn't sleep all night. After my daughter and son-in-law left, I was immersed in thought. When it became 5 a.m., I couldn't stand it anymore. I got up and made coffee. Then something suddenly came to mind. It was something from a few months ago. The story my son-in-law told me when he came. Father-in-law, I'm planning to start a business. A business? Yes. I'm going to start a small construction company with a friend. At the time, I listened without much interest. I see. I hope it goes well. But I'm a bit short on funds. How much? I need about 500 million won. 500 million? That was a lot of money. You can get a loan from the bank. Well, I don't have enough collateral. Then my son-in-law said carefully, could I use this house as collateral? I refused flatly. No, not the house. Father-in-law, the house is our family's foundation. A business can fail. My son-in-law's face had stiffened. Then, I'll find another way. After that, my son-in-law's attitude gradually changed. He wasn't as friendly as before. My daughter also started bringing up the house around that time. Dad, don't you think this house is too big? What's wrong with it being big? It's hard to manage. And later when you and Mum get older, it'll be hard to go up and down the stairs. I'm still fine. What are you talking about? Still, we should prepare in advance. We had conversations like that several times. And a while ago, Dad, I heard housing prices went up a lot. Did they? Yes. Our neighborhood is scheduled for redevelopment. Redevelopment? Yes. Then you'll get a lot of compensation money. What would we do with compensation money? You could move to a nice apartment and live comfortably with the remaining money. At the time, I brushed it off without interest. But thinking about it now, everything seemed planned. My son-in-law's business fund problem, my daughter's stories about the house, and the current situation. Everything was connected. Sending that person to the nursing home, taking property management authority, then trying to handle the house. My chest felt tight. My daughter whom I raised with love for 40 years. I didn't want to believe it, but all the evidence was too clear. That person's diary, the power of attorney, and the contradictions revealed in yesterday's conversation. At 9 a.m., I called the nursing home. Hello, I'm Yoon Jung-gi's husband. Ah, yes. You visited yesterday. I'd like to visit alone today. Is that okay? Just a moment. She seemed to be checking with someone again. I'm sorry, it's difficult today. Why? The patient became very anxious after yesterday's visit. Anxious? Yes. She couldn't sleep all night. That seemed like a lie. Then when can I visit? After a week, depending on her condition. A week? That was too long. I hung up the phone and thought. It seemed impossible to see that person through normal means. I needed to find another way. Then my phone rang. It was my daughter. Dad, hello. Yes. How are you doing? Getting by. Dad, did you call the nursing home by any chance? How did she know? Yes, I did. Why? I was curious how Mum was doing. Oh, but they said visits are difficult today. How did my daughter already know? That was strange. We can because we're guardians. Guardians? Yes. We have the power of attorney too. When did you get the power of attorney? When we went to the hospital. Mum wrote it voluntarily? Yes. But I knew The date and handwriting of that power of attorney. Sweetheart. Yes. Did you ever talk to Mum about the house? My daughter's face stiffened over the phone. About the house? Yes. Selling it, or using it as collateral. Why are you asking that? Just curious. She didn't say anything. That was strange too. Sweetheart, do you have time today? Time? Why? I want to talk with you. What about? Just family matters. Oh, today is a bit. I have something to do with Kang. What is it? Just personal matters. Personal matters? I wanted to ask more, but it seemed my daughter wouldn't answer. All right, I understand. I hung up the phone. I sat alone and thought. Now it was certain that my daughter and son-in-law were planning something, and that person was the victim of that plan. But what should I do? Should I report to the police? But I still lacked clear evidence, and reporting my own daughter, or should I go to a lawyer? It was too complicated. First, I needed to meet that person. I needed to meet her directly and confirm the truth. If normal methods don't work, even by other means, I couldn't give up for the person I've lived with for 42 years. Tonight, I'll go to the nursing home tonight, even if I have to sneak in. Sometimes the wisdom to take a detour is needed rather than a frontal assault. The next morning, I met Chongsu and Kyungsu. It was at a small restaurant in the neighborhood. It was the first time meeting since the Jeju Island trip. Dohyun, what's wrong with your face? You look very troubled, Chongsu asked with concern. Well, something complicated happened. I explained the entire situation to my two friends. From that person going to the nursing home, to my daughter and son-in-law's strange behaviors, to the story I heard through the caregiver yesterday. What? Such a thing happened? Kyungsu was surprised. Your daughter really did that? I have evidence. I showed them the documents I brought from home. The power of attorney, property registration, that person's diary. The two friends looked closely. This is really serious, Chongsu said. Dohyun, shouldn't you report this to the police? Well, reporting my own daughter, just because she's your daughter doesn't mean she can do this. Kyungsu got angry. Treating your wife of over 40 years like this, does it make sense? I don't want to believe it either, but the evidence is too clear. The three of us were silent for a while. So what do you want us to help with? Chongsu asked. First, I need to get my wife out. From the nursing home? Yes. It seems difficult alone. How? You guys pretend to be visitors and go in. Meanwhile, I'll bring my wife out. Kyungsu shook his head. That's too dangerous. It's illegal. There's no other way. How about going to a lawyer? Chongsu suggested. That takes too long. I don't know what my daughter and son-in-law will do in the meantime. Then my phone rang. It was my daughter. Dad. Yes. Where are you now? I'm out. You're not home. What's the matter? I have something to discuss with you. If you go home, I'll come now. What about? Over the phone. I'd rather meet in person. The phone disconnected. Who was it? Chongsu asked. My daughter. She says she's coming home. Then you should go. Will you guys come with me? Us? Yes. Just in case. The two friends nodded. We returned home. 30 minutes later, my daughter and son-in-law came. Their expressions were serious, but there was one more stranger behind them. He was wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase. Dad. Yes. But who is that person? He's a lawyer. Lawyer? My heart sank. Everyone sat in the living room. Chongsu and Kyungsu also sat down. The lawyer spoke. Hello, I'm lawyer Kim Young-ho. What brings you here? I came as the legal representative of Park Dohyun and Kang Min-soo. Legal representative. Yes, there are several things to sort out. My daughter said. Dad, we brought a lawyer because legal procedures are needed for Mum's issue. Legal procedures? Yes, Mum. Mum was diagnosed with early-stage dementia. What? We did a detailed examination yesterday. It's early stage dementia. That didn't make sense. It was completely different from what the caregiver told me yesterday about that person. So we need to legally appoint a guardian. My son-in-law said. Guardian? Yes. Someone to handle Mum's property management and medical decisions on her behalf. The lawyer pulled out documents. We've already applied to the court for guardian appointment. Park Dohyun as the daughter will become the guardian. Wait, I shouted. Why didn't you consult me about such an important matter? We thought it would be too hard for you, Dad. Too hard? For me. I stood up. I was angry. I'm her husband. I should make that decision. Why did you do it on your own? Dad, please calm down. Calm down? In this situation? Chongsu interrupted. Dohyun, let's be calm. But I couldn't hold back. Sweetheart, tell me honestly, is this really for Mum? Or is there another purpose? My daughter's face stiffened. What do you mean? Are you trying to handle the house? The house? Because of Kang's business funds. You're trying to use this house as collateral, aren't you? My son-in-law jumped up. Father-in-law. Such words. Such words? It's the truth. I pulled out the documents. The power of attorney and property registration. What is this? My daughter and son-in-law's faces turned pale. Where did you? Mum hid them. She knew what you were trying to do. The lawyer looked flustered. Wait, what's this situation? These people tricked Mum into sending her to a nursing home and took property management authority. But the dementia diagnosis, it's fake. Mum is fine. I showed that person's diary too. Look at this. Does this look like writing from a dementia patient? The lawyer read the diary. His expression gradually stiffened. This doesn't match dementia symptoms. My daughter started crying. Dad, I didn't know you would suspect us this much. Suspect? Is this suspecting? Kyung-soo stood up. Dohyun is right. This is clear fraud. Chong-soo also chimed in. You can't treat your mother of over 40 years like this. My son-in-law shouted. You don't know how serious mother-in-law's condition is. Serious? You made it serious. I couldn't hold back anymore. Bring Mum home right now. Dad, right now, the lawyer said. In this situation, a legal review seems necessary again. What review? If the guardian application was made through fraudulent means, this is a serious problem. My daughter and son-in-law looked at each other. At that moment, I read something in their eyes. Fear and panic. You really did this? My daughter lowered her head. Dad, I'm sorry. Truth finally pierces through darkness and sees the light. I'm sorry. My daughter's small voice echoed in the quiet living room. Everything was over. My son-in-law also bowed his head. Father-in-law, we were wrong. The lawyer organized his documents and said, in this situation, the guardian application must be withdrawn. And if the diagnosis was obtained through fraudulent means, lawyer, I interrupted. First we need to bring Mum home. We'll think about other things after that. My daughter wiped her tears. Dad, I'm truly sorry. We were too greedy. Sweetheart, yes, go to the nursing home right now and bring Mum home. Yes, I understand. 30 minutes later, everyone went to the nursing home. We met the director in the director's office. The director's face was stiff. What's going on? The lawyer explained the situation. It appears she was admitted through fraudulent means. We'll proceed with discharge immediately, but we trusted the documents the family submitted. Those documents were fabricated. The director sighed. I understand. I'll help with the discharge procedures. We went up to room 203. When I opened the door, that person was sitting by the window. When she saw me, her eyes widened. You, honey, it's me. I came to take you home. That person started crying. You really came? Yes. Let's go home now. I hugged that person. She was too thin. She had lost a lot of weight in just a few days. Honey, thank you. Really thank you. I'm sorry. I should have known sooner. My daughter and son-in-law were standing behind. That person saw them. Complex emotions read in that person's eyes. Mum. My daughter cautiously approached. Mum, I'm truly sorry. That person said nothing. Mum, we were wrong. Please forgive us. After a long while, that person spoke. Yoonju. Yes, Mum. Why? Why did you do this? My daughter cried harder. Money. We desperately needed money. If Kang's business failed, we thought we couldn't survive. So you deceived your mother? I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. My son-in-law also knelt down. Mother-in-law. I'm also truly sorry. Kang. Yes, mother-in-law. You instigated this, didn't you? My son-in-law nodded. Yes. I pushed Yoonju. I'll take all responsibility. That person sighed. Living together for 42 years. I never thought I'd experience this. We returned home. I laid that person in our room. She was too tired. Honey, rest a bit. Yes. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I really would have been there forever. Don't say that. I'm sorry I realized so late. I held that person's hand. It was still cold and trembling. It's okay now. You're home, so it's okay. Several days passed. My daughter and son-in-law came every day to ask for forgiveness. At first, that person didn't want to meet them. Not yet. I'm not ready yet. That's understandable. Let's take it slow. A week later, that person met my daughter. Mum, Yoonju, I'm truly sorry. Sweetheart, was your mother that easy? No, we thought wrong. Raising you for 42 years. This isn't what I wanted. My daughter cried more. Mum, never again. This will never happen again. Can you promise? Yes, I promise. That person hugged my daughter. All right. It's all Mum's fault. Mum's fault for not teaching you properly. No, Mum. It's our fault. She also talked with my son-in-law. Kang. Yes, mother-in-law. What will you do about the business? I'll give it up. I'll look for other work. Why? Making you suffer like this. It wasn't worth doing. That person nodded. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, Kang. Yes, this will never happen again. Right? Yes, I promise. A month passed. The atmosphere at home gradually returned. That person also recovered much of her former self. Honey, your friends Chongsu and Kyungsu are coming today, right? Yes. I want to treat them to a meal to thank them. I'll cook. Are you okay? Yes. I'm okay now. In the evening, Chongsu and Kyungsu came. Junggi, you look much better, Chongsu said. Yes, I'm sorry for worrying you. That person greeted politely. Don't say that. It's family matters. Kyungsu also said. Dohyun, I'm so glad that we were there with you then. Thank you. If it weren't for you guys, I don't know what would have happened. We're friends. It's natural. We talked over dinner. By the way, what happened with your daughter and son-in-law? Chongsu asked. Fortunately, we reconciled. Really? Yes. It took some time but we're family after all, Kyungsu said. Right, family is the best. Family is more important than money. That person nodded. That's right. I learned a lot from this incident too. It was late at night. After the friends left, that person and I sat together. Honey, yes. Are you really okay now? Yes, I'm okay. This will never happen again. I know, because you're by my side now. I held that person's hand. It was warm now. We've lived together for 42 years. Let's continue living together. Yes, let's live together. Moonlight came through the window. It was a peaceful night. A truly peaceful night after so long. The peacefulness I felt in Jeju Island, I could feel it in our home now. This moment with family together was more precious than anything. Honey, thank you. That person leaned on my shoulder. Thank you too. for not giving up until the end. That's how we started again, as a couple who lived together for 42 years, and as a real family. Only after the truth is revealed can true forgiveness and reconciliation begin. I'm sorry, my daughter's small voice echoed. In the quiet living room everything was over. My son-in-law also bowed his head. Father-in-law, we were wrong. The lawyer organized his documents and said, in this situation, the guardian application must be withdrawn, and if the diagnosis was obtained through fraudulent means. Lawyer, I interrupted. First we need to bring Mum home. We'll think about other things after that. My daughter wiped her tears. Dad, I'm truly sorry, we were too greedy. Sweetheart, yes, go to the nursing home right now and bring Mum home. Yes, I understand. 30 minutes later, everyone went to the nursing home. We met the director in the director's office. The director's face was stiff. What's going on? The lawyer explained the situation. It appears she was admitted through fraudulent means. We'll proceed with discharge immediately, but we trusted the documents the family submitted. Those documents were fabricated. The director sighed. I understand. I'll help with the discharge procedures. We went up to room 203. When I opened the door, that person was sitting by the window. When she saw me, her eyes widened. You honey, it's me. I came to take you home. That person started crying. You really came? Yes. Let's go home now. I hugged that person. She was too thin. She had lost a lot of weight in just a few days. Honey, thank you, really. Thank you. I'm sorry. I should have known sooner. My daughter and son-in-law were standing behind. That person saw them. Complex emotions read in that person's eyes. Mum, my daughter cautiously approached Mum. I'm truly sorry. That person said nothing. Mum, we were wrong. Please forgive us. After a long while, that person spoke. Yoonju, yes. Mum, why did you do this? My daughter cried. Harder money. We desperately needed money. If Kang's business failed, we thought we couldn't survive. So you deceived your mother? I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. My son-in-law also knelt down. Mother-in-law, I'm also truly sorry. Kang, yes. Mother-in-law, you instigated this, didn't you? My son-in-law nodded. Yes. I pushed Yoonju. I'll take all responsibility. That person sighed. Living together for 42 years, I never thought I'd experience this. We returned home. I laid that person in our room. She was too tired. Honey, rest a bit. You, yes. Thank you. If it weren't for you, I really would have been there forever. Don't say that. I'm sorry. I realized so late. I held that person's hand. It was still cold and trembling. It's okay now. You're home. So it's okay. Several days passed. My daughter and son-in-law came every day to ask for forgiveness. At first, that person didn't want to meet them. Not yet. I'm not ready yet. That's understandable. Let's take it slow. A week later, that person met my daughter. Mum, Yoonju, I'm truly sorry. Sweetheart, was your mother that easy? No, we thought wrong. Raising you for 42 years. This isn't what I wanted. My daughter cried more. Mum, never again. This will never happen again. Can you promise? Yes, I promise. That person hugged my daughter. All right. It's all Mum's fault. Mum's fault for not teaching you properly. No, Mum, it's our fault. She also talked with my son-in-law Kang. Yes. Mother-in-law, what will you do about the business? I'll give it up. I'll look for other work. Why? Making you suffer like this. It wasn't worth doing. That person nodded. Yes. That's right. I'm sorry. Kang, yes. This will never happen again, right? Yes, I promise. A month passed. The atmosphere at home gradually returned. That person also recovered much of her former self. Honey, your friends Chongsu and Kyungsu are coming today, right? Yes, I want to treat them to a meal. To thank them, I'll cook. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay now. In the evening, Chongsu and Kyungsu came Ms. Jungi. You look much better. Chongsu said yes. I'm sorry for worrying you. That person, greeted politely. Don't say that it's family matters. Kyungsu also said Dohyun. I'm so glad that we were there with you. Then thank you. If it weren't for you guys, I don't know what would have happened. We're friends. It's natural. We talked over dinner. By the way, what happened with your daughter and son-in-law? Chongsu asked. Fortunately, we reconciled. Really? Yes, it took some time, but we're family after all. Kyungsu said. Right. Family is the best. Family is more important than money. That person nodded. That's right. I learned a lot from this incident too. It was late at night, after the friends left. That person and I sat together. Honey, yes. Are you really okay now? Yes, I'm okay. This will never happen again. I know, because you're by my side. Now. I held that person's hand. It was warm. Now. We've lived together for 42 years. Let's continue living together. Yes, let's live together. Moonlight came through the window. It was a peaceful night. A truly peaceful night. After so long, the peacefulness I felt in Jeju Island, I could feel it in our home. Now this moment, with family together, was more precious than anything. Honey, thank you. That person leaned on my shoulder. Thank you too for not giving up until the end. That's how we started again, as a couple who lived together for 42 years, and as a real family.